After my husband passed away, while sorting through his belongings, I knocked over his diary. It was filled with love for that woman. My name appeared only on the very last page. He wrote, "Sarah, if I had a second chance, I wouldn't choose you." Smash! The diary fell, and tears of regret streamed down my face. Then, I was back in the year I got pregnant. This time, I wouldn't compromise. I would choose myself. "Robert, please don't go." A flash of white light, and I was back to the day he was rushing off to see her. My words of protest died on my lips, and I stood frozen. Robert, thinking I was about to make a scene again, frowned in annoyance. "Can you stop making a fuss? I'm busy, I have to go on a business trip." "Do you really think I'm as lucky as you, able to just lie around at home spending money?" Hearing the exact same words as in my past life, I finally realized I had truly gotten a second chance. I lowered the hand that had been blocking his way. "Oh, have a safe trip." I waved dismissively. He looked surprised. "What's wrong with you?" I smiled. "Aren't you rushing to see her? She'll be upset if you're late." At my words, his movements as he packed froze, and his face instantly flushed red. "What nonsense are you talking about? Seeing who? I told you I'm going for work. Can you stop imagining things?" After decades of marriage, I knew him better than he knew himself. This was how he reacted when he felt guilty. I let out a cold laugh. "No need to pretend. She's already bragging to me." I pulled up the chat history and threw it in his face. "Your husband is always thinking about me, missing me. He flies over to see me with just one call. In his heart, you're nothing more than the wife at home who's taken for granted." Seeing the chat history, Robert visibly panicked. But he quickly composed himself. "She was in a car accident. I was just going to check on her, nothing else. Don't overthink it." I scoffed, my voice laced with sarcasm. "Just check. Keen on her? Or were you going to check on her in bed?" He jutted his chin out defensively. "Sarah, you're always so vulgar. Is your mind only capable of thinking about such things? I guess I can't compare to you cultured people, who can't say it out loud but enjoy doing it." I continued to mock him. In my past life, he constantly used my lack of culture and the absence of common ground between us as an excuse. In his eyes, only that woman was his soulmate, and he couldn't forget her, not even at the very end of his life. "You." He was trembling with rage but helpless. In the end, he left, in a desperate hurry. As he was going out the door, I spoke again. "Come back. Let's get a divorce." His body stiffened noticeably at my words. But a moment later, slam, he was gone. After he left, the room echoed with an empty silence. In the previous life, after he left, I was consumed by sadness, even questioning if I had been too inadequate to keep him. But this life was different. With the experience of growing old and withered in the last life, my heart was already shattered by him. Since fate had given me a second chance, this time, I would choose myself. I remembered the words he wrote in his diary. "Sarah, if I had a second chance, I wouldn't choose you." Looking at the empty house, I murmured softly, "Robert, if I had a second chance, I wouldn't choose you either." I called my agent, Eleanor. She was both my boss and my mentor. "Hello, Eleanor. I want to go back to acting. Do you have any roles you can help me with?" Hearing my story, Eleanor's tone grew serious. "Come to the company." I knew this day would come. After hanging up, I walked straight into the Westwood Studios building and found Eleanor. She paused when she saw me, her face filled with concern. After all, in her eyes, I had always been the beautiful, sparkling big star, not this worn-down, ordinary version of myself. "Sit. I'm glad you came to me. Sarah, you shouldn't be like this." She was a mature and charismatic woman, and my mentor. Everything I achieved was because she nurtured me. Back then, at the height of my career, I personally ruined my path by choosing to return to my family. I expected her to be disappointed in me, even prepared for her to give up on me. But unexpectedly, she said to me, "Sarah, I respect your decision, but if you ever regret it, you can always come back to me. There will always be a place for you here." Her words became a prophecy. She had foreseen that I would regret it, but she respected my choice and left a door open for me. Having someone in this world who understood me so well was my greatest fortune. I truly regretted it, so now I had come back to her. "Eleanor, I'm sorry. The person I used to be. I let you down." She shook her head. "Wrong." I raised an eyebrow in surprise. "What's wrong? You shouldn't be apologizing to me. You should have come back to me immediately, found the Sarah you used to be, and joined forces with me, full of spirit, to crush everyone who hurt you into the dust. That's the Sarah I know." Hearing her words, I burst out laughing. Then, it's a pleasure working with you. It's a pleasure working with you. I signed the contract with her again, reclaiming the Sarah I used to be. After signing, I shook her hand and couldn't help but cry. What are you crying for? It's just a man. It's not too late to turn back now. I shook my head but said nothing. She didn't know that in my past life, I stubbornly chose marriage, even when I was bruised and battered, I never looked back. Back then, I was afraid to remember my brilliant career, and afraid for her to see my miserable state. 50 years had passed since I last saw her. Eleanor, it's so good to have you. My eyes were red from crying. She comforted me gently. Don't cry. I'll accompany you through the entertainment industry again. Hearing her comforting words, I cried even harder. The person I was before was a complete idiot. I actually let down Eleanor, who loved me so much, and chose that man who never loved me. After sorting out work matters, I touched my belly. If I remembered correctly, it was around this time in my past life that I discovered I was pregnant. In my past life, I was overjoyed when I found out I was pregnant, even thinking I could use the child to tie down his heart. I thought that with a child, we would have a home and a connection. But I was terribly wrong. I overestimated myself and underestimated his heart. His business trips were always to the city where she was. Even on the day I gave birth, facing a life or death situation during a difficult labor, he was still in Aspen, skiing with that woman. He said, "It's just giving birth. I'm not a doctor. What difference does it make if I'm there or not?" I was in pain but refused to face the truth that my husband didn't love me. Later, I simply chose to deceive myself. As long as I didn't look, he hadn't betrayed me. Later, we spent our lives together. I thought I had won the gamble. But on that day, when I saw Robert's diary and read about the love he poured out for her, I finally realized I had lost everything. Looking back now, I really was incredibly foolish back then. I scheduled a procedure and went to the hospital alone the next day. As I was about to go into the operating room, the doctor asked me, "Do you want to reconsider? It's a very healthy, lovely boy. I'm afraid you'll regret it." A healthy, lovely boy? I curled my lips in a sarcastic smile, stroking my flat belly. I thought the same thing in my past life, but what was the result? Genes are a strange thing. The child I gave birth to in that life or death situation didn't love me either. He was just like Robert, cold and greedy. He despised me, thought I wasn't good enough for Robert, and didn't deserve to be his mom. 2 days before my second chance, he was still complaining about me. "Mom, you've had an easy life. How would you understand Dad's hardships? He's a respected great writer. It's already embarrassing for him to have a wife who can't present herself well. Can you stop causing Dad trouble? Besides, they didn't do anything. Dad's money and he himself are here with you. What more are you unhappy about? You just don't know how to be satisfied. You've been weighted on hand and foot, lived a life of being supported for too long. Dad spoiled you." In his eyes, I, who gave birth to him and raised him, was just a useless person. He even once urged his father to divorce me. "Dad, I'm already settled down and have my own career. Mom isn't much use anymore. You should go pursue your true love." I was heartbroken then. Now, looking back, I really raised an ungrateful wretch. What was the point of having a son like that? My memories flooded back. Looking at the doctor, my eyes were filled with unwavering determination. "No need to think about it. Let's do it." "All right." I lay down on the operating table. Under the effect of the anesthetic, I lost consciousness. When I woke up again, my lower abdomen ached faintly, but I felt incredibly light. From now on, there would be no more burdens in my life. After resting at home for half a month, I joined a film crew. The entertainment industry is cruel. After being out of work for so long, my standing had dropped considerably. The best option among the scripts Eleanor gave me was only a supporting role in a rom-com series/teen drama. I didn't complain, but carefully read every script, finally choosing a low-budget streaming series. Eleanor wasn't surprised by my choice. She smiled lightly at me. "Sarah, you haven't changed at all." "No, I have. I've become more clear-headed, more rational." After settling on the role, I packed my bag and went to join the crew. I adjusted my state in the shortest time possible, working my way up on set without a single complaint. Perhaps it was because I had lived an extra lifetime, I portrayed this ordinary middle-aged woman with exceptional skill and vividness. Even the director Miller couldn't stop praising me. "You've really impressed me. It's incredibly rare to be able to portray such depth of experience and perspective at this age." I wasn't complacent but demanded even stricter standards of myself. Another month passed, and Robert returned home. When he got home, he found I wasn't there. No hot meal prepared early, no look of eager anticipation from me. He felt uncomfortable and called me over a dozen times, which I only saw during a break. Where have you been? Why aren't you home? Where have you been messing around? I looked at the script and answered him indifferently. I'm filming. Hearing I was out filming, Robert got even angrier. He questioned me loudly, who gave you permission to go filming? Don't you know you should discuss something this big with me? I don't agree. Get back home right now. I rolled my eyes dismissively. My business is none of yours. When you left last time, I already told you. When you came back, we'd get a divorce. Didn't you see the divorce papers on the table? Hearing my words, he fell silent. Sarah, stop acting childish. I know you're just saying that out of anger. Come back now, and we can talk properly. Stop being difficult. Before he finished speaking, I heard a woman's soft, affected voice from the other end of the line. Robert, can you get my clothes? The woman's voice was slightly hoarse, wrapped in the fatigue and misty haze of intimacy. I smiled coldly. Robert, you really are disgustingly dirty. Do you love it that much? Bringing other women into our home? Caught red-handed, his tone became flustered. No, Sarah, don't misunderstand. Jessica's clothes got dirty, I was just helping her change. There's nothing else, don't think too much. I didn't want to hear any of his explanations. I'd heard them for decades, my ears were practically calloused. No need to explain. I said it. We're getting a divorce. After we divorce, you can do whatever you want with whoever you want. Before he could react, I coldly hung up the phone. 50 years. Sick of the sight of each other. Annoyed. After that day, Robert seemed to suddenly realize something. He, who never liked talking to me, started sending me messages every day. There were small talk greetings, and full of regret apologies. What he said most often was, Sarah, stop acting childish. Come home. Let's go back to living our lives properly. It was laughable. Even at this point, he still thought I was just throwing a tantrum. He said he tore up the divorce papers. It didn't matter. I'd just sent him another copy. He didn't want to believe it and couldn't imagine I would be so resolute this time. It wasn't until I finished filming and went home to pack my things that he finally relented. He stuck his chin out and asked me, Sarah, did you meet someone who loves you more? I laughed. It was truly ridiculous. Is that how your mind works? Just because you're a cheat, you think I did too? Robert, stop making excuses for your own shamelessness. You were the one who cheated. I'm just not putting up with it anymore. This time, he finally faced reality. He hadn't expected me to be serious this time. His head dropped. Sarah, do we really have to go this far? Can you stop talking nonsense? I'm busy. I don't have time for your self-pity. I crossed my arms and frowned, looking at him with disdain. My cold attitude left him stunned. He laughed self-deprecatingly and finally agreed to sign the divorce papers. After the divorce, I immediately announced publicly my divorce and my return to work. I quickly adjusted my state and threw myself into my new job. Unexpectedly, I ran into Robert and Jessica again. Robert was startled for a long time when he saw me. Oh, you're Director Miller's recommended supporting actress. If you wanted to act, you could have told me. I could have what? Given me Jessica's leading role? I retorted without leaving any room for argument. He was left speechless. After all, this show was specifically tailor-made by him for his dearest Jessica. In the previous life, he had written countless scripts for Jessica, propelling her to stardom and making her a household name. Back then, they called each other soulmates/kindred spirits and became a tragic romance in many people's hearts. One sentence, the way he looked at her wasn't innocent, had made me, the first wife, the sinner who was breaking up a couple. So, when I received this script, I didn't hesitate at all and chose to act opposite Jessica. After all, in my opinion, her acting skills were only surpassed by her thick skin. As soon as she saw me, she couldn't help but exude playing the victim/fake sincerity. Oh, little sister Sarah, I heard from Robert. Sorry, I haven't been well and don't know many people, so I often have to bother him. It caused a misunderstanding between you, I'm really sorry. Her tone was unfriendly, and I didn't hold back. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It went all the way to the bedroom. I find it disgusting. She seemed not to have expected me to be so direct. Her face instantly darkened. Robert was also very displeased. Sarah, if you have a problem, you can take it out on me. There's no need to treat her like this. I gave him an even colder look. What did I say? I said I found you disgusting. I didn't mention her. What does she have to be angry about? At this, both of them turned red with anger, and my mood significantly improved. It just goes to show, happiness doesn't disappear, it just shifts. At the crew dinner that night, Jessica still didn't settle down and kept trying to stir up trouble. Here, Robert, I remember you love shrimp scampi the most. Robert, why aren't you peeling shrimp for me anymore? My nails are long and it's inconvenient. Help me, please Robert, drink a little less. You really haven't been taking care of yourself since I haven't been around these years. If why? Oh, you keep this up, I'll be angry. While she was being affected and interacting with Robert, she also couldn't help but show off to me. Sister Sarah, I have to say, you weren't a very good wife. How could you let your man drink so much? Don't you know Robert has a sensitive stomach? The way she scolded me made me wonder if she was Robert's mother. Robert looked a bit awkward. Sarah, don't misunderstand. Jessica is just concerned about me, nothing else. They put on a whole show, but I completely ignored them and just focused on eating. During the meal, I also hit it off with a male actor from the same crew, and we talked about many shared interests. Robert saw all of this and his face turned completely black with anger. But we were divorced. He had no right to control me. After the dinner, I went back to the hotel early to memorize lines and rest. Just as I was lying down, drifting off to sleep, someone started banging loudly on the door. Bang bang bang. Sarah, open the door. Open the door. Robert's drunken voice came from outside. I rubbed my temples, annoyed, and got up to open the door. As soon as I opened it, I was engulfed in Robert's embrace. Sarah, how could you be so cruel? Smelling the heavy scent of alcohol and Jessica's perfume on Robert, I only felt disgusted. I pushed him away irritably and patted my pajamas. Damn it, I just changed into these pajamas and now I'd have to change again. Sensing my disgust, Robert became even more wronged. He clung to me using his drunken state as an excuse, just like before. Sarah, I'm drunk. I want the hangover soup you used to make for me. You always used to make it. I rolled my eyes in annoyance and slowly peeled his hand off me. Robert, will you ever stop your habit of acting out when you're drunk? In my past life, he also had many social engagements. Every time he came home drunk, he would be covered in another woman's perfume, and his shirt would have lipstick marks. I would complain and argue with him. But he would act indifferent, even annoyed that I wasn't understanding enough to be considerate of him. You don't understand a man's social obligations. Do you think I want to drink? I only do it to give you a good life. Then he would fall asleep snoring, while I stayed awake all night. Now that we were divorced, he suddenly remembered me. He was provoked by my words and froze. He explained blankly to me. Sarah, believe me, I really didn't. Slam. I pushed him out and coldly closed the door. We're getting divorced. You don't need to explain anything to me. The next morning, as soon as I stepped out, I saw Robert coming out of Jessica's room, still wearing the same clothes from yesterday. They were wrinkled and stained with lipstick marks. It was obvious at a glance that their night had been quite intense. The red marks on his neck were even more conspicuous. Robert looked very awkward when he saw me, pulling at his collar to explain. Sarah, listen to me, I was drunk last night but I didn't want to hear his groundless explanations at all and just walked past him. What was there to explain? I already knew a cheater would never change. While filming, Jessica still didn't forget to provoke me. During a scene we had together, I needed to use a wire harness/rigging. Since the action was quite difficult, the stunt coordinator specifically instructed us to try and get it in one take, otherwise it would be easy for problems to occur. Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot my lines. Let's do another take. But during the shoot, Jessica was exceptionally unprofessional. Not only did she forget her lines multiple times, but she also had a smiling, carefree expression, acting completely unconcerned. Everyone in the entertainment industry is sharp. Everyone could see she was doing it on purpose. And Robert stood to the side, watching it all with a frown, but didn't stop her. A scene that was only supposed to be 1 minute long was dragged out, making me hang on the wire harness/rigging for over 3 hours. By the time I finished the last take, I was exhausted. The stunt coordinator looked at my condition and frowned, calling a halt. No, we can't shoot anymore. You're too worn out. Any more takes and you'll be finished. If we stopped now, a whole morning's effort would be wasted, with no usable footage. I'm so sorry, little sister Sarah. It's been too long since I filmed, I'm out of practice. I'm really sorry. Jessica was still giving me a fake apology. I ignored her and clenched my teeth, saying to the stunt coordinator, "It's okay, let's do one more take." The stunt coordinator was worried, but seeing my determination, could only agree. I leaped down from the air. Although my body was tired, my movements were fluid and perfect. Upon landing, Jessica was supposed to say her lines, but we looked at each other for a long time, and she said nothing. Just as she was about to pull the same trick and apologize with a smile, smack. Unexpectedly, I slapped her across the face. The slap was so powerful it sent her face askew. You. She covered her swollen half face and glared at me, furious. Smack. I slapped her again. This time, both sides of her face were red and symmetrical. Just a commoner. Who gave you permission to look directly at me? Can't even greet me? Are you mute? I was still immersed in the character, looking down at her with contempt. You actually dared to hit me. Seeing Jessica get slapped, Robert couldn't sit still and rushed down immediately. He scolded me reproachfully. Sarah, this time you've gone too far. But. Cut. Clap clap clap. Director Miller called cut just in time and stood up to applaud me. Excellent, truly excellent. Sarah, I was right about you. The way you handled this scene was absolutely perfect, even more emotionally layered than originally planned, and completely fits the character. A celestial goddess should have this kind of presence and temper. This take is a go. Alright, quickly untie Sarah, she's been exhausted all morning. Get some good rest. The director had spoken. Even if they had any complaints, they had to swallow them. Looking at her face, swollen like a pig's head, and the expression of hating me but being unable to do anything about it, I felt immensely satisfied. I'm so sorry. It was all for the sake of the scene. You can handle a little hardship like this, right? I also imitated her, blinking my eyes innocently and giving her a fake apology. It's okay. I still have a lot to learn from Miss Sue. Those 3 words, it's okay, were practically ground out through her teeth. That's good then. After that lesson, Jessica became much more subdued and didn't dare to pull any more stunts on me. But she still flirted with Robert on set every day. Her acting was atrocious. If it weren't for Robert's backing, the director would have cut her out entirely. After several months of filming, my performance was widely praised on set. The originally villainous supporting character was given multiple layers and possibilities through my portrayal. After the series aired, the celestial goddess I played was also very popular with the audience. Aha! Our Sarah finally remembered she's an actress and is working again? This time it's a brand new role. So cool. The moment the celestial goddess appeared, I wanted to pee my pants, it was so badass. Holy crap, I didn't like this character when I read the book, thought she was just a pure evil plot device, but after watching the show, I actually started to empathize and understand her. Anyone else feel this? Deities shouldn't fall in love. The celestial goddess is so clear-headed and career-driven, I absolutely adore her. Seriously, I'm begging, please delete that love-struck female lead. Change the show title to The Legend of the Celestial Goddess. The only flaw in this show is that damn female lead. In this life, with my performance as a contrast, Jessica N. OT only didn't become popular but was ridiculed online. Is this lady a bot? Her acting is absolute garbage. My god, are her eyes twitching? LOL, granny song, you're too old to be stealing jobs from young girls. Every time I see that face full of wrinkles claiming to be 17, I want to puke. Seriously, can someone explain? Her career is going up in flames, and she's still there crying and crying. She's crying away all her good fortune. Jessica wasn't willing to give up. She used a burner account/alt account to direct traffic and insult me but ended up messing up and forgot to switch accounts. Although she quickly deleted her inappropriate comments, that same night, #Jessica backstabs Sarah became a trending topic. To save face and to smear me, she cut out the video clip of me changing the lines and slapping her, maliciously editing it to create the illusion of me bullying her on the film set. Everything is going well, just hoping I won't suffer such hardship again next time. Her playing the victim/fake sincerity caption was so nauseatingly sweet it made my head hurt from 800 miles away. Under her marketing and self-pity, #Audrey Hayes changes lines and bullies Eleanor Vance, character in show, also became a trending topic. 2 trending topics dominated the charts all night. Our show became popular, and I became popular along with it. It just wasn't for any positive news. I'm not saying this isn't too much. Even if Jessica's acting is bad, you can't just bully her on set like that. Boycott the bully. She's been a housewife out of acting for so many years. Does she think she's something special, treating people like this? Seriously, I'm done. I used to think her acting was good, but now I'm switching from casual viewer to anti-fan. Get out of the entertainment industry and go back to being a housewife. Overnight, I gained tens of thousands of hateful comments. I narrowed my eyes, looking at a few of the paid trolls/bots ounce that were directing traffic, and called Robert. Robert, this is getting a bit embarrassing, isn't it? What? Robert was still confused. I curled my lips in a sarcastic smile and casually read out a few account names. He immediately understood and quickly apologized. Sarah, believe me, I really didn't know. Jessica just cried to me about having no resources or traffic, and I wanted to help her. I really didn't expect. Alright, spare me the excuses. I just called to confirm with you and to pass on a message. If she really wants to do this, I'll make sure she pays for it. He tried to dissuade me, disapprovingly. Sarah, although Jessica did something wrong, you were the one who struck first. Is it necessary to go this far? Besides, it's just being criticized a bit. It counts as bringing you traffic. You should forgive and forget. No need to be so calculating. I smirked, my face full of sarcasm. Forgive and forget your grandmother's leg. After hanging up, I immediately contacted Eleanor. Unexpectedly, she was even faster than I expected. Don't worry. The clarifying video is ready. We'll release it after the buzz builds up a bit more. And by the way, I prepared some juicy material for them. It'll be enough to keep them busy for a while. With her there, I never had to worry. Eleanor acted quickly. That night, she released a lot of behind-the-scenes footage. In the footage, Jessica was unprofessional in various ways, either forgetting lines or making mistakes. Not just me, but many other actors on set were also suffering. Especially the clip of me being tied to the wire harness/rigging for a high-risk scene was released. In those 3 hours, Jessica's careless attitude was a sharp contrast to my sweaty professionalism. Those who had been criticizing me yesterday were silenced after seeing this footage. And my fans were utterly furious. Before I retired, I also had many fans. They were the friends I had accumulated over so many years of work. My way up in the entertainment industry. When I left the industry, they were the ones I felt most sorry for. I thought that I had broken their hearts and that even if I returned, they wouldn't support me anymore. But unexpectedly, we were just quiet, not dead. Are you crazy, treating our Sarah like this? Do you think we're pushovers? This Jessica is a vixen. Look at her flirting with Robert. What about our Sarah? She gave up her career for love, and this is the outcome she got? Seriously, I'm speechless. Thank goodness Sarah got divorced. That kind of scumbag should be thrown in the trash can. Sure enough, those who love you will never bear to see you suffer. Seeing these people I had never met fighting for me, my heart felt warm. This time, Jessica's career imploded/scandal broke completely. Seeing that her hope of succeeding in the entertainment industry was gone, she could only place all her hopes on Robert. She clung to Robert, demanding he make their relationship public. She even said, "We only learned to cherish each other because we missed out on being together before." She thought she could at least latch onto Robert and become a trophy wife/rich wife. But how could I possibly let them off so easily? I've never been one to forgive and forget. With Eleanor and I pulling the strings, Jessica's dream of being a trophy wife was shattered after only a few days. #exposed #Jessica intervened in Robert and Sarah's marriage. The truth about their divorce. #exposed #Jessica long ago became a foreign national, returned only to make money. #exposed #Jessica kept by wealthy old men/sugar daddies. Private videos leaked. Several trending topics in a row dominated the charts, and Jessica truly became famous, albeit in a negative way. To be honest, I was shocked when I saw those videos of her. I knew she played around, but I didn't realize she played around that much. It made me want to throw up my dinner from the night before. Naked why? Several wealthy old men/sugar daddies playing games, wearing lingerie, dancing around a chair. I never would have thought that the one he couldn't forget Robert had been thinking about for 50 years was this kind of pathetic sight. Help, begging for a pair of eyes that haven't seen these videos. I'm going blind, I'm really going blind. So disgusting. I really don't know how she could stomach it. Have to say, Robert has peculiar tastes. Leaving a cool beauty alone at home while obsessively pursuing this kind of trash. He really has a heavy taste. After the videos were leaked, the wives of the wealthy old men/sugar daddies she had serviced were also enraged. Not only did they use their connections to block all her resources, but they also came to her door, tore off her clothes, and beat her up. Robert was there at the time. Faced with people like that, he, who was usually so arrogant, didn't even dare to utter a single word. He just stood there, weak and useless, watching the woman he had been thinking about being humiliated by others. After that day, he also couldn't stand it and broke up with Jessica. He finally realized he had mistaken dog shit for a pearl. The woman he had been thinking about had never truly loved him, not for a single day. He came back to me. Sarah, I was wrong. I didn't see her true face and was deceived by that woman. Please forgive me. Let's live our lives properly together from now on. I'll never think about her again. Don't worry, I won't interfere with you anymore. You can film whenever you want. From now on, you'll play all my female leads. He pretended to be deeply emotional as he tried to win me back, pushing all the blame onto Jessica. Excuse me, but I only know that flies are attracted to rotten meat. You've been rotten for a long time. I shook off his hand in disgust, pulled out 2 wet wipes/hand wipes, and carefully wiped the places he had touched. And, you'll soon be unqualified to make films too. I quarrel. My lips cruelly. How could I let go of the man who had worn down/tormented me for an entire lifetime? I reported him for tax evasion and plagiarism. I was a bit surprised when I first found out about this. I had no knowledge of his illegal income. As for where that money went, I smiled sarcastically. He really did scheme a lot for Jessica. Robert's career imploded/scandal broke. He paid a huge sum of money and was completely blacklisted from the industry. His literary award was also revoked. Someone who plagiarizes others' work and harms national interests is not fit to be called a writer. His honors came to an end, ruined by his own hands. From then on, he was just an ordinary, unremarkable person. He could no longer step on my shoulders to gain honor and be admired by thousands. Meanwhile, I became better and better after leaving him. I no longer only filmed rom-com series/teen drama but focused more on drama series/serious roles that reflected the slice of life/human condition. I played a delivery worker, a cleaner, a pitiful mother who lost her child. 3 years later, through my own efforts, I once again held the Best Actress Award trophy. While giving an acceptance speech, I said, "Life is a wilderness. I hope we can always keep moving forward." Later, I met Robert again. At that time I was a dazzling star, while he was just a penniless, down-and-out old man. He was unshaven and unkempt, making me almost not recognize him. But he recognized me at a glance. He looked at me, his eyes red. He asked me, "Sarah, why is everything different? Where is our Michael? Where is our happy family?" It turned out, he had gotten a second chance too. I smiled indifferently. Robert, 50 years of worn down/tormented, 50 years of indifference. I saw myself clearly long ago, and I saw you clearly too. I hate you, but I hate myself even more. I hate myself for falling in love with a man who didn't love me, and I hate myself for pretending to be blind and deaf. And I could clearly see and hear. Robert, you didn't cherish my love. This was bound to happen today. This time, he cried. He truly cried, shedding tears of regret. He said, "Sarah, if I had a second chance, I would definitely cherish you properly." I shook my head. I don't want a second chance. You, and that Michael, I don't want you anymore. This life I have now is the one I want. Finding myself feels really good, really good. I admit I loved Robert, and I admit I chose the wrong person, but I don't regret it anymore. I only hope that from this day forward, I can love myself a little more each day.